Okay.
Well, hello and a warm welcome back to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn. I'm joined yet again by Errol Musk. Errol, I wanted your feedback on a couple of things. There's been an urgent update on Tommy Robinson. Basically, he's in solitary confinement for a non-criminal offence. There was a post from his admin people on X saying they're trying to starve him. I'll read you what it says. The prison has banned him from ordering food for a week. His only source of nutrition, tinned tuna and mackerel, just because he basically had a phone call with his son, who was listening in. What's your take on that?
Well, he's a political prisoner of a you know pro-communistic government. The idea is to kill him. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They intend to kill him. So it's the British people have to wake up and have to stop this Stormer character. They've got to stop them. They can't do this anymore. This is wrong. Not wrong. It's criminal. He's a political prisoner,
Yeah,
and
they
he's
said
an
what
he's
it goes on in the tweet. It says they've blocked visits, cut off phone access. He's lost serious weight and his mental health is deteriorating. His human rights have been breached repeatedly. This is political persecution, plain and simple.
yes, of course it is. Elon, I believe, has provided um, legal team for him, but what's happening there now is so unbelievable that it's just hard to believe. It was the English that fought their way out of being subject to tyrannical governments. England was ruled by tyrannies, from one tyranny after another. I mean, uh, I think conceivably it was Elizabeth I that opened the door a little bit for people. Before that, it was a murderer was the so-called king. A vicious, murderous killer was the king of England, and his name was Henry VIII. And so, the English people have fought their way out from that, and now they're heading back to that. So for reasons that are very difficult to understand. Um, as I've said before, the reason that they want to stop him, he's the one. He shows strength. He's a man, and he's the one who would, in normal circumstances, be the future prime minister of your country, not uh, people who sort of go through the system and all that. No, he would bring America, or rather Britain, back into the world as Trump has done. And even now, as young as he is, I'm sure he would be able to do it. And for that reason, they have to get rid of him. They have to get rid of him, and they use these flimsy excuses that he didn't turn up to a court appearance, which is just does happens. Sometimes your car gets a puncture to start with, and then they said, "Oh no, he didn't turn up to at least two court appearances." Mm. And then there was he bought a property and he put his sister's name or something as a security, and that's like property fraud or something to that effect that he was supposed to have done at some stage, which we've all done
Yeah,
at
there's all
some.
sorts of things in the media about that, and there's the whole thing about contempt of court, and you and I spoken
That's
about this
rubbish.
beforehand. But
That's
the
rubbish.
principle is the punishment does not fit the crime, and solitary confinement and the reports of his life in prison are absolutely appalling, whatever he may or may not have done. What would you say to to Tommy? Because I know he does watch these things and he very much values Elon's support and the
Well,
support that you've given.
he was
What
just
would you say to Tommy
hanging there.
Robinson?
He must hang in there because we are going to get him out. He must hang in there because we're going to get him out and we're going to put him in the front of all the British people and lead them back to the world that they knew when they before this people like Stormer and these other monkeys came in. You know, so
But
he must hang
hang
in
in
there,
there is the advice,
hang in
and
there,
Elon continues to
and
support
we've got
him
to get him out,
in the way
and
that he does.
we're going to get him out, and we're going to deal with these people, and we're going to deal with them the same as they've dealt with him.
Okay. The other Robinson I want to talk about is Father Calvin Robinson, who at a pro-life rally or summit rather, he basically did the same gesture that Elon did at the inauguration, which was from my heart to you, was his gesture. And as a result, he had his license to practice as a priest revoked, and he's got all sorts of problems. What are your views on Calvin Robinson?
Well, I heard briefly of that, read briefly of that. I think, look, it's ridiculous. You know, they are imprisoning people for the things that they do themselves. So, never mind I'm talking about. They look at these people as potential foes. So, if they do anything that they can pin on them, then they try and do it. But I mean, that um, hail, Caesar or whatever it is. I mean, that's the oldest salute in the world. Hail Caesar, hail Caesar. I mean, I mean, it's 2,000 years old from Rome, or rather 2,700 years old from Rome and Etrusca, and and probably long before that in Sumeria and Acadia and all those sort of things. It's the oldest salute in the world. It's to show, hey, that that your weapon hand is empty. You know what I mean? I.e., I'm your friend. Empty hand. You see? That's why it's done like that. But after Elon was accused of doing that, then they sent me pictures, I think a dozen pictures of Obama, AOC, Hillary Clinton, the whole lot of them, all doing the same thing. Exactly. In fact, more what I call more Hail Caesarish, as well as Elon was something else. So it's rubbish. Yeah. It's rubbish.
Yeah, we spoke about this beforehand. We said clearly Elon is not a Nazi, and he didn't intend it as a Nazi salute. Calvin Robinson's intention was to highlight the hypocrisy and the lunacy of suggesting it was a Nazi salute. He just wanted to say, look, from my heart to yours. He did it as a joke, if you like. Might be misplaced, but it was supposed to be a joke.
Yes. Well, if he's been expelled from his job or something, he was wasting his time there. He shouldn't be with those people. He should not be working with those people. So they've done him a favor. You don't want to be with those people.
He's a priest, and it's his license to preach, basically.
And you don't need a license to preach. That's rubbish. That's nonsense. I take it Jesus got a license. Hey, yeah. You must have then John the Baptist. You make licenses.
I do know that Calvin's had problems now about with his visa and so on and so forth about getting in and out of the States. What advice would you give to Calvin?
Hang in there. Hang in there. Don't let them get you down. They're going to lose. So anyone who resorts to pettiness to try and get at you is a loser. They're a loser the moment they do that. Anyone who attempts petty behavior to get at somebody, well, that's just the behavior of a loser, if you know what I mean. So just hang in there. Time works miracles.
Yeah. Okay. As always, Errol, it's a delight to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining me and pointing out the best advice to both Tommy Robinson and Calvin Robinson. Thanks a lot.
Okay.